Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as, investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy! Alright folks, here we are on Tuesday, December 26th. We're going to take a look at XPEV today. So XPEV, just a quick recap here, had this nice double bottom down here a few months ago and then just took off like a rocket ship at that time. Couldn't hold price action over 23 for very long, fell back down below this 22.39 that we had on the chart, ultimately fell below these levels as well, and then settled along this 1337 level that we had on the chart. You see that was sort of where it consolidated during that sort of rocket ship phase, if you will. Came down, didn't need it here, but then when it banged down this time, caught it, and it's near into that level again. That's the nearest in support level that I have on the chart anyway. And it's sort of caught at the moment in an interesting spot for a couple of reasons. One, it's this downtrend resistance, and it's bumping its head against it again today. Now, it made an escape from there, about a month or so ago, but it couldn't hold it over 1711, came down and ultimately couldn't hold 1540, and did what I always find to be one of the saddest things, which is it leaves downtrend resistance and then just curls right back down and plops itself back under it again. So question is, at the moment, is it going to be able to break that again? And if so, is it going to be able to leave this behind? When it broke it last time, it was recovering off of this, sort of journey down to 1322. And I'm wondering, the reason that I did this quick recap back here was, we had this double bottom here, and then it took off. And I'm wondering if we're going to get something similar here. This is sort of this M shape that it's putting in. And this was also, it's not exactly the same, right? But why would it be? But it's similar-ish. And so I'm wondering, if there's going to be something similar happen here. I don't know, but, it's sort of one of those things where you find out really soon, because either it's not going to happen, right? This is going to sort of put in this double bottom, and then it's just going to remain caught under this downtrend resistance, or it's going to try to break, and then it's going to fail and break below that 1337, or it'll break the downtrend resistance, capture 1540, 1711, 1973, and potentially then it's sort of off to the races. So that's sort of what I'm keeping an eye on at the moment, sort of curious about to see which way it wants to break or what it wants to do. There is always a third option that I feel like is often overlooked, which is it could just pin itself between, say, this 1337 and 1540 and just kind of consolidate price action in there and then decide when it wants to break and go one direction or the other. So, it's just to say, don't forget, it doesn't have to just lose price action or gain price. It could just go sideways. So on the think or swim side of things, this looks a bit different, obviously, because we have this channel set up, but a couple of things. One, histogram down here, it was building up bearish momentum and then trying right now to put in a couple of back-to-back candles of diminishing bearish momentum. So we'll see if that continues to take shape or not. It obviously has frequency of hiccup candles. We see a couple here on the bullish side of things, see one here on the bearish side of things. So we'll see if that continues to take shape. But if it does also have a good sort of trajectory of dying down and then flipping, dying down and then flipping. So we'll see if that takes shape this time or not. Now, no trigger. It still is exhausting out a long-term fire here. I don't know when the last trigger was on the TTM squeeze indicator, but that's not taking shape at the moment. And then in the channel setup, it's just been pinned between the mid-range of the channel and the lower bound, trying to push at the moment. So, to me, this isn't instilling a ton of confidence, where it's situated in the channel. At the moment, that doesn't mean it can't rise. It just means it's not sort of doing anything that's more impressive, if you will, which would be something like wrestling with the mid-range of the channel and gaining support there. Right now it still is to the lower mid-range of the channel and just resisting off of the red wave cloud at the moment. So, you know, still quite low in the channel. Channel is quite wide also. If we zoom out here, you see how wide this channel is. It's sort of curling down toward one another at the moment, but you know, it's not as compressed as it was back here. You know, really broadened out here when you had just this big run up and then this really choppy price action, which ranged from, you know, like 13s up to 18s, 19s. So huge percentage range where it's sort of just batting itself back and forth, keeping that channel quite wide. So so that's just to say it has a long climb. You know, if it's going to flip the mid-range of the channel and then get itself a little green cloud like we see here, and then try to push the upper bound, it has a lot of space that it's going to have to move through because it's such a big percentage area within that channel because it is so wide at the moment. So we'll see. I feel like this is one of those situations where the Webull chart looks a little bit more promising than the Thinkorswim study. And so that always like gives me sort of a moment of pause, but you know, that can be good and can give you some added information so you don't necessarily rush into something if maybe you shouldn't be, you don't chase something, and sort of just, you know, gives you another look to say, let me double check this here. So we'll see how this takes shape, but it could be something interesting if we get a break here and it's able to do something with it. Obviously, a break doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to take off. It could fail, like we saw very recently. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is off to a good start. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.